Yeah, hi, good evening. So we are discussing about Sqlite, right? So that last time we are supposed to run this Sqlite program. So now I'm running this. We will see here now. So last time we completed the code, just it is pending is that running. So I'm running this. We will see now. So here now I'm entering some data. So some random data I entered. Now I'm clicking on the save success. So in this page, okay, data is coming along with this because we just added the toast and we commented this, right? So we'll uncomment this and we will see now. So it's supposed to display the data, whatever we entered. So that data it's supposed to display here. Right. Now, again, I'm running. We will see this. Then after once again, we will review the entire code. So what we have written in this. So the entire code we will review again here. So now again, I'm entering this some data here. So just now I entered something, I'll entered some other data. So something I entered some data. Now see here. From last today, whatever the data we are entering, that is saving. But last time, so there was an issue in the display. So that last time we updated the code, right? So with that, it is fixed now. Whatever the data we added here, so all the data has here, it is displaying here like this. See. So all the data it is displaying here like this. Right. So now for this, now we will see here what is the code we've written, how this will be here now. So first of all, what we created here, we created an user interface with name, location, designation, mobile. So with these four fields, we created this. Later, after this, now, so within this main activity, so just we enabled here data binding. So with followed by data binding, just we added this on click listener and data just we collected and we keep it here, this data like this. Right. So then after this, right, after this, now we enter into this DB helper. So here we created a DB helper class. So this will be this class. I want to make this class as a general class for the entire application. So because of that is a reason. So here I changed this context as a general context, right? General context, and it extended by SQL Open Helper. So which is the predefined library. So that I'm using here that we will use to save the data in your local database. So that we are using here. Right after that, here is within this SQL Open Helper. So it requires the context, database name, so cursor factory and DB version. So these all are the things we have to use here. We added here this. So after that, it has two methods. One is the on create, another is the on upgrade. So those are the default implementation methods. So those methods has created here this. So after this, now here we created some values like whatever the values, the default string values we will use. So those we created within a companion object. Here we created name, version, table name, and what are the fields we are supposed to save, those all we created here this. Then we came back to here. Here we created a table. So we created a table by using the onCreate method. Within onCreate method, so create table. So create table users. So whatever created on that. So key ID, this is integer. So that auto increment. Then name, that is a text, location text, designation text, mobile text. So then DB SQL. So DB data saving is done. Then in case if table already exists, so in case if I did some modifications on the table, so that time the entire table will be dropped and again it will create a new table. Right. After that, now we are doing our custom code operations. So that is like here first I want to insert the data. So for that I used here insert details. So name, location, designation, mobile. So these four fields I'm using here. This so that here, yeah.
Line number 25.
Line number 25. Yeah, this is like in
Sorry,
case
24, 24. Old
24.
version and new one.
Yeah. So in case see here, this is the older version, int and new version means here it will check already once we have that database. In case like database is already exist in a mobile, like whatever the mobile we are inserting, if it is the mobile means here in case see here now, here I'm adding the bottom, here I'm adding 3. Like last time I added 1, after that 2, like the 3. So in case if I did any modification on the table, here I have to modify this version. So whatever this version and mobile version, it will check those two versions. In case both are not equal, then immediately this query will execute, means the existing table will be dropped and it will create a new table. Right. So then here we are doing the code operation. So to insert this, so here for insert, we require the writable database. So that is the content values. So based on the content values, we will save the data. So that's why here from here, we are not saving the ID. ID should be auto generate. So that's the reason here name, location, designation, mobile numbers, only these four fields we are saving into this table. So db val result, so we are saving into this. So result, this is the we are in saving into this database. So result, it will be final result will come here in this. Then after that, so here we are get user, so we want to get the user. So whatever the data is inserted, that I want to get. So for that here I created one hash map. So here also writable database. So here writing, okay, I'm writing query. So that is a key ID, key name, location, designation, but whatever data you want, that you have to write here this from the users table. Sorry, table users, right? Then here raw query, this query we are executing here in the raw query. So that is a, I'm not writing here any conditions like contains, ascending order, descending order, and order by like if it's a minimum 100 order, 100 only 100 records, like that I'm not writing any conditions. So directly whatever this while I'm writing, because multiple data will be there. So again that's the reason again I created one more hash map, that is a user hash map. So ID, name, location, designation, all the fields I'm getting here one by one. So that here we are assigning user by user. So user, so finally this will goes to user list. So this is the user list, it is done. So cursor will be done here like this. Then after that, I want to get only one single ID. So means only single data. Here I am writing the condition. So like same above whatever we've written here, the same key user ID, key name, like all the things. But here based on the key ID, whatever the ID I'm sending, that ID related data will come here. So for that, I'm not writing group by, having order by. So not I'm writing anything. So just I'm giving null. But here if you want, you can write something that I'm not written this. So here also same, we are mapping this. Finally, it will give that user as the list data. Then update user. If you want to update the data, integer like string, location, designation, this any of the string based on the integer value that we can update this. So same content values and row affected value rows db.update. So based on the ID, so the string, whatever the data we are sending, that will be updated and it will close that. Then after delete user, so that delete user is the internet ID. So here, if you want to delete, so directly this is also straightforward by ID, because here the unique we are maintaining as ID. So that's the reason I'm doing all the operations by this ID only. So ID the system. So this is the one operation side. Like then after we came back here, so just we declare here this context class. Then by using the DB helper class, we are inserting name, mobile number, designation, and mobile number. So these four data we are entering here this. So once it is entered, we're supposed to move on to the details page. So in this details page, we created one XML with list view. So For to get the list here, DB helper class we took here, and after that we get users. So get from the get users, we got the data, whatever date we assigned here this. So for that we created one custom class, custom XML to display multiple data in a single row. So that's why we created like this here. So this is the here we created 4 text views. So one is like here all user like Android widgets, simple adapter, context. Oh, so whatever the user list, we are getting user list. So layout. So this is the layout we are mapping here. An array of ID, name, location, designation, mobile. So whatever the data is coming, so that we are assigning here. So then int array of, so this IDs, whatever IDs we created here, that we mapped here. So data is displaying it like this. So this is the, for looking like it is a writing code wise, and this wise it will be little bit lengthy, because it is the very core concept of the Sqlite. So for this, now as I already indicated, so for this advanced versions will be there. So that advanced version we will see now. So till hope this is clear, or you have any questions on this first. After that, we'll go to the room database. So that is advanced version for this. So that we will see after this. Hope it is clear, or you have any questions?
Update and these things is not working.
Your voice is breaking.
Yes, sir. I'm asking that can you go in the DB helper? Yes, sir. We have created this update function for updating here. How we can?
See, in case if I already I entered this data, right? I entered some data. If you want to update again, you have to here. Let us say this data. First, this data is displaying. If you want to update here, you can put something update button. Then you can call the form. So that time you can call this query by clicking this. We will call this query so that whatever the new data is entered here, so that data will be updated, replaced by the older data. Understood?
Yes.
Yeah. So like that we will do here.
Need to add some button.
Yeah. So here we have to add some button to update. Again, it come to like this page only, first page only. So on the first page, like this form, it will display with existing data. So from here, instead of Hyderabad, you will write something. So you can update that. So that data will be updated here like this. But as of now, it is added. So that's why new record added. But normally it will be update like this.
Last line, what is written in that?
This one we called ID, that is internally saving ID. That ID also we called. Normally that ID we will use backend side. So that is coming in a different, like this will be auto generated ID that will be created in a system format. So that's why that is came like this. Right? It is clear, right? So then I'll go back to the room database. So I'll create a project. So this is simple. Like it won't take this much length. So it will be simple. Room DB. Some room database. So compared to this, it is very less code as well as a simple. So yeah, new project is loading. So for this room database, we need some dependencies. So the dependencies we will copy and then we will continue. Okay, first we'll copy from here dependencies. So these all are the plugins we have to call from here. So these all we have to call. So here I'll paste all these things. Also here we have to call one more thing here. So when we are using the Room database, so it requires the KAPT plugin. So that plugin we will use normally. So that plugin here we have to add within a plugin. We have to add that KAPT plugin. So here I'll add that KAPT plugin. So same time we'll add the data binding and we'll do this. So that is the data binding. Enable equal to true. So that I added the data binding. So let us sync this. So once it is synced, then we can continue this. So meanwhile here we will do some modifications on this layout level. So first of all, I'll call this layout. So that is for data binding. So this layout also we will change instead of constraint layout. Instead of constraint, we will change. So we'll change as a linear layout. So linear layout. Then I'll add here orientation, vertical. Okay, so here now I'll take one edit text. Match parent wrap content. ID. So ID I'll give as a username. So hint will give as user name, some margin, then DP. So this I'll copy as it is. Then second one will be here. I'll change as user email. So email. Then I'll add here mobile number, mobile, mobile. Then I'll add one more thing called password. So here also I'll add password. Right. Then here I'll add this is the button. So that is save. So this instead of this, it should be the text. Right, save. So button save. Then below I'll add one more button. So that is the load users. Means it shows all the users, load users. Load users. Then one more button, delete. So delete. delete. Done. So now within this main activity here, now first we'll add data binding where binding colon. So that is activity main binding equal to null. Then here binding equal to data binding util dot. So here this done. So now within this, like we created this, right? So first of all, we need some support files. So before going to that support files, here we will call this and we'll go binding dot save dot set on click listener. So this is one. Like here, we have two more buttons, right? First three buttons, we will write actions before going to that. So this instead of this save, load, this is the delete, right? So within a save button, first var name equal to binding dot. So username dot text dot toString. So similar to this, we need mobile number, email, password. Right, email, mobile, password. Right, all we have. So here this one could be password, this one would be mobile, this one could be user, email. Done. So this is regular process we have done. Right. After this, now I'll write actual these things related to this database. So for that, I need some separate classes. So here now I'll create one class called user. So because this data we are saving user data, that's why I'm creating one class called user. So user.kt class has created this. So this is the class which we created that we called as an entity class. Means in this we are defining the table format, table structure, how this will be. So that's the reason this we called as an entity class. So entity class, entity. So entity class at the right entity. So within this now we have to define the table name. So here I am defining the table name. Table name equal to something user underscore table something I create here, something like this. So we can import this entity. So right here, user entity table is created here like this, username equal to user table, it's created this. So then within this, now here, this is the class. So this is the class, right? Which class it is? Entity class. So we have to add that as a data class user. So within this now, first one at the rate primary. So what is the primary parameter here? You have to define. So that is a primary key. That primary code should be auto increment. So that is the true. So that should be auto increment. And that we called as a value that is ID. So that is colon in the form of that is integer, right? So int. So default it will be the 0, means it will start from the 0. Right, then after that here we have to write val username. So we are having the username, right? Username colon. So that is in the form of string, comma. Like this, we have other three. So username, email, mobile, password. So one class is created with the table details. So here we have to create with the table details, whatever this is there, and that we have to create in the table details. So that we created here this, right? Next, after that, for DA, the data access class we have to create that. So that is interface. So we have to create one interface for this. So that is a user DAO. So that class we have to create here. User DAO class we have to create here this. So this will be the data access point layer. This is the interface. Sorry, we created a class here. This is interface. So interface means it will be common for the entire class. So that will be DAO from the room database. So data access layer that will be here means within this we have to write the code operations, like whatever the code operations we are using. So that we have to write. So first one, I want to insert the data. So that insert. So in case what I'm writing on conflict. So in case any data will be on conflict. So what I'm doing that on conflict strategy dot replace. As of now, if in case same data will come, so that I'm replacing with the new data. So suspend function insert. So I'm inserting the data insert. So where we are inserting user. So within a user table, we are inserting the data. So first one is insert. Then once it is insert, now we have to update here, right? So user update. So update. Oh, sorry. Update. So update. So where we have to update suspend function, that is update. So this is also user update done. So similar way at the rate delete. So if you want to delete, so delete. So suspend function. So that is a delete. Means this whatever I'm writing here, insert delete, that we will use other class. So that's why it is not showing like user place. We are then query select. So if you want to select, you have to write the query. So for that here now select. See here, query is also very simple. Select star means delete they've written wrong, insert they've written, create table they've written wrong, but here no query, simple we are writing. So that is where from the user underscore table. So which we define, right? User underscore table. So that name if you want here, you can see. Oh, sorry, here. User table name. No problem. User underscore the table. This we have to copy here. So that we have to save here. Table. So here I'm writing that how the data order by username. So username. So that is ASC means ascending order. So the username will come in the ascending order. So here now the suspend function get all users. So get all users. So that will come in the form of list, right? So that's why I'm creating here one list. So that is the user. So whatever the user it is coming, so that user is coming here in the list. So let us say I want to delete all the data. So delete all the data. So that is a query. So here delete from user underscore table. So user underscore table. So suspend function. So function. So that is delete all. So it will delete all the data. Right. So these are the queries we have written. Next, we have to map this with in instant. So that for this instant class is required. So that data we have to map with the instant class. So for that, I'm creating one instant class. So that is the user database. So user database. So this is the instant class I'm creating for this. So within this instant class here, now we have to write here first. This is the database. So database. So database. So that database entities we have to define here. So the database entities. So whatever the entities like we created so far. So that entities. So here First one, user. So we created the user class, right? So that user colon class. So user class. So this is the capital, right? So class name is the capital. So user class. So now here we are defining the version. So there we are written on the same page. Right here we are defining this version and export. So we have to export option, export schema. So that export schema equal to, normally we cannot export here data. So default it will be the false. So that same false I'm writing here, export schema false. Right. So now this is here we've written here. Though this is the one, like it is an abstract class. So here now I'll write then abstract class. So abstract class, so that is a user. So this will be now extended as room database. So this will be extended as a room database. So then here abstract function. So that is a user DO. So we created already that user DO, right? From the user DO, user DO, sorry, user DO colon. So from the user DO, so this we are calling this here, this. Right, so this abstraction class is done. So like two more classes will be there. So that we will discuss tomorrow. Once two more classes is completed, we will write in a main class. Then we'll fix these issues and we'll run the program.